We're going to show you the Freno. It's traditionally a step where which means break, right? So the guy puts his leg out and the woman stops. And traditionally this is a step where the woman can take over and do stuff, which we'll show in later chapters. So this chapter is just the Freno in its pure form. Or from another angle. And it looks deceptively easy. And it's not crazy hard, but it's not crazy easy either.
It's not crazy hard.
As you step side for the leaders, you want to make sure that you isolate in your right hip socket. So I outstep her a little bit, and I extend my right leg. She collects, and then I pivot her without putting any weight on my right leg, and she'll hit my shin with her shin or her ankle, walk over her leisure, and then at that point, I take over the lead. So her walk over is whenever she wants. And then once that happens, then I take over the lead.
And until that happens, his only job is to look enchanted while I wait until I feel like stepping over.
So for example, I'm busy looking enchanted.
And I step over when I want.
And this is one of those rare places in Argentine tango where we actually say the woman has, in some sense, the lead, and this is a custom, that right there we tell the story that if I were to pull her over, she might trip over my leg. Now, it would never happen, but that's the story that's told. So some things not to do. And then I say, why don't you walk over my leg? Right, and the leg keeps moving. So for the guys, you want to think that after you take this side step, or from this angle, if you put your leg out here, she won't be able to get to it. You know, it's worse, you move it further away. So instead, you step side, and then I'm going to bring my foot to her wherever she is so she can feel it.
And by the same token, when I come into his leg, I'm going to make sure he feels my foot. Because he's not supposed to be looking down like that.
Right, so I'll be feeling for her left shin, or like I'll wait for her, or her left ankle, depending on where he puts his foot. So if you look at her leg right there, you'll see it connects.
Otherwise, he has no way of knowing that I got there.
She walks over. At that point, I take over. I'm going to bring my foot back, change my weight, and then rotate her back to face me. Now, for the ladies, there's this horrible thing that a lot of women do. And it's sort of like walking over his leg like you're an elephant. And I don't want you to do that. Like elephants don't even walk this way. This is people pretending to be elephants. So if I'm the girl and she puts her leg out, this is what a lot of women do. They get here and they're like,
they don't do that.
Well, I'm exaggerating horribly. But the point is, when you bring your leg over, I want you to shape and then come back. So make that walk over very deliberate.
The other thing women do much more often is when they step over very close. And if you step over very close, then it's really hard to pivot to face.
Well, and what's more, the leader might have something that continues your travel. It'll make the travel harder.
So what we want to do is step over to what feels like fairly far away, so we make a triangle with his feet. And then when we step, we end up right in front of him.
Keeping the distance the same. And another thing for the leaders that typically goes wrong is after we take the side step here, she's going to want to pivot on her right foot. And if I'm standing with all my weight right here, she won't be able to pivot. And if I'm doing the part of the girl, if you look at my feet and I'm the girl, if the leader's foot is right here and he has weight on it, then she'll end up pivoting like this. And then she'll try to walk over. And it's not the most attractive of things. So instead you want to make sure that you have weight so your foot can actually move. So if you look at our feet right here, my foot, after she steps side, she'll pivot and my foot moves just a little bit to accommodate her pivot.
Como el olvido, tus labios apretados, como el rencor, tus manos dos palomas que sienten frío, tus venas tienen sangre de bandoneón, tus tangos son criaturas.